You are listening to Unequaled with JC Carroll and Ajay Salveson. But first, our friends, the Painted Roses.
Hi, this is Karen Nielsen with Guild Mortgage in Logan, Utah. Beyond great rates, we're committed to ongoing customer service even after your loan closes. We want you to experience knowledge, communication, and amazing customer service for a lasting relationship. Make Guild Mortgage your trusted partner.
It was good many years ago.
You know, we're going to roll with that. Welcome to Unequal with JC Carroll, Aggie Hall of Famer Ajay Salveson. JC Carroll obviously has his jersey hanging in the rafters, and he thinks he has his jersey hanging on the track and field rafters as well, I guess. He bragging about his incredibly illustrious track career. Oh, sorry, that was in Wyoming. My apologies.
Hey, a time's a time. You can put a time anywhere in any state, and you see where it holds up.
You're telling our guest idea?
He's sharing. I'm creating connection. Creating connection.
I've got a highlight of me running. I got highlights of me running too. At a rodeo as a clown away from a bull. And my time was pretty good.
I bet it was. You got a bull chasing you.
Oh man, my hops were awesome too in those boots. We're here at the Med Spa. So grateful to have everybody joining us. Wherever you're joining us, make sure you please rate us, subscribe us, 4.5 stars, maybe 4.25.
Why do you do that?
Because I feel like we're not at the 5-star level yet. I feel like you and I, our chemistry. You know what we should do? We should go golfing with each other sometime. Maybe we could help build that chemistry.
You told me that
you go golfing.
You told me you kind of like golfing.
No, I said I love it, but I'm just not great at it. But I could be a water boy. I could be a towel boy. You need like sweat right off your eyebrow.
No, I don't need that.
You need me to like massage your shoulders for a 30-foot putt.
No,
you know, or do you want to do the Jim Nance voice?
Hey, I could go for the Jim Nance voice. Hey, by the way, I did golf last week.
Oh, thanks for the invite.
And on the last hole, I made a 55-foot putt.
No, you didn't.
It was amazing.
Really? On what miniature golf course did you hit it?
Oh my goodness.
I'm just wondering.
Oh my goodness.
Without further ado, we're so grateful to have our guest joining us. One of the best ever in the 4x400, and she ranks to the top 5 almost in every year. She set her own personal record. It's incredible. Her resume will easily qualify her to be on the ballot for the Utah State Athletics Hall of Fame when she qualifies by time-wise. I guess it's via time-wise. You have to be 10 years graduated. No, you seriously do. You graduated.
Yeah, you got to be removed by 10 years.
You're laughing at. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I've seen that ballot before. My name's not on it, but I know how those things go. But Olivia Smith will be on that ballot without question.
Yeah, keep doing this podcast, and maybe we can get you in the Broadcasting Hall of Fame at Utah State.
Do you think I'd get in before Al Lewis?
No, that's not Al Lewis. They've been doing it for way longer than you've been around.
But I heard you like me more. Didn't you say that?
Hey, you can't put me up against Al and ask that kind of question. Do you want to get your feelings hurt, Ajay?
Speaking of feelings hurt,
like Al,
are you going to follow me on Twitter? It's been a week, and you still haven't logged into Twitter.
I haven't logged into Twitter. I haven't, but I will. When I log in, you're my first follow.
You're supposed to retweet my tweet that I got hacked and scammed on my
Twitter.
Right.
That's right. Look, if I can remember the password, maybe we'll do it right now. We go. Go ahead. Introduce the guest.
We need to go golfing, and we need to get you to follow me on Twitter.
Introduce the guest.
And our chemistry will be at peak. Olivia Smith, the great track runner at Utah State, joins us here as she's completed her career, her illustrious career again. Her name will be on a ballot 10 years down the road when it's all said and done as a Hall of Famer. And without question, she'll be in that class come sooner or later. Olivia, hi, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No, this is awesome.
I'm so excited.
So, no track, no school, you're graduated. How does it feel to have to do absolutely nothing physically?
Good and bad at the same time. It's like a breath of fresh air, but also I'm like, wow, what am I going to do with all my time? You know, like I have so much time, I don't know how to fill it.
What is your time filled by right now, by the way?
So right now I am working a 9-to-5 job. I'm working for Holbrook Pickleball. I do their marketing. It's a ton of fun. Love everybody I work with. And then after work, just, trying to find new hobbies that I'm passionate about. So going mountain biking with my friends and family, just kind of, enjoying my time off.
What's cool about this, and you didn't know this until I told you this, JC, but she is the daughter of a previous episode we had, Con Smith.
Mm-hmm.
The
granddaughter.
Granddaughter. Sorry.
Granddaughter.
What did I say, daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. So anyways, but yeah, so athletic genes, IQ, prowess, like in regards of athletics, doesn't run short in the family. What got you, I really want to know genuinely, what got you into just running?
Yeah, that's a good question because I feel like lots of people don't just enjoy running.
I'd be one of them.
So from like a young age, I was like involved in a ton of different sports. I played soccer. Soccer was like my main sport growing up, super competitive in soccer. And honestly, I wanted to play soccer in college. That was kind of like my dream. Like I wanted to be a college soccer player. And all growing up, all my coaches and like all the parents on the sideline, they'd always be like, you are so fast. You need to run track. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't really think much of it. And so when I got to high school, same thing. Everyone's like, you need to run track. You need to run track. And so I kind of was just like, okay, I guess I'll run track. And I kind of just started off like doing it to stay in shape for soccer, honestly, and figured out that I was pretty good at it. So just kind of stuck with it. And the rest is history.
That is awesome. And as we start talking, like the events you run are events that are my absolute favorites in track. I think there's nothing, I mean, everyone likes to watch the 100-meter. Like, it's fun. Watch Usain Bolt run down the thing fast. But hurdles, 110 hurdles, 100 hurdles.
100 hurdles. Yeah, that's like not my main. I ran that freshman, sophomore year.
Okay.
But yeah.
400 hurdles, which is an incredibly tough race.
Yeah.
And is that your best race?
Yeah, that's
your favorite.
That's my main race.
That's your main race.
So one that I'm best at. Yeah.
All right, tell me about some of your highlights, or how did you get into the hurdles?
Okay. You want me to start from the beginning?
Yeah.
Yes,
why was that?
absolutely.
Why was that distance? Because
Because those hurdles are taller than me. And I have to go under them. And that's cheating, supposedly, which really ticks me off.
yeah, because there's and I might be wrong. Maybe you know this or not, but your body can run for like 32 seconds before it starts running on lactic acid and starts eating itself or something like that. So if you're running for 56 seconds in a 400, that means you're fighting through that for half the race.
Yeah.
And it's brutal.
It is brutal. Yeah.
All right. How did you get into that type of running, that type of race?
Yeah. So for hurdles, I was a freshman in high school. I'm at like my first track meet. I literally know nothing about track. Like I'm putting on my spikes to warm up and my teammates are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. Aren't I supposed to like wear these shoes to warm up, you know? So I literally just knew nothing about track. So I'm there sitting there at the track meet and I'm like seeing these girls run the 300-meter hurdles. And I kind of was just like, oh, that looks fun. I guess I'll do that. Like there really was not like a thought process behind it. I was just kind of like, oh, I want to do that. And I just kind of did it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, there's obviously a reason why I got that idea got put into my brain. But then, so obviously did that all throughout high school at 300-meter hurdles. And I was pretty good at it. I honestly was not like the best. Like I was not like a huge recruit. And so I come up to Utah State, start running the 400-meter hurdles, and that was an adjustment for sure.
Yeah.
From the 300 to the 400, that was like a big adjustment because I had never ran a 400 before I came to college. So.
You didn't? They never put you on 100?
kidding me?
No, I never ran a 400.
They didn't like, hey, try the 800.
No.
You didn't run a 400?
No, literally my longest event in high school was the 300-meter hurdles.
Holy cow.
So somehow I dodged a bullet, got out of all those hard races in high school. So I come to college and I go to the 400 hurdles and I'm running my first race and I kind of just don't even know what to expect. And I finished and I literally remember like when I finished, I was like, what did I just get myself into? Like, I'm going to be doing this for 4 years. Like, what did I do? I do not even know. Like, it was so hard and it's so hard mentally. Like the 400, honestly, I always say it's like 10% your athletic ability, 90% mental. Like it's really just whoever's the most mentally strong. That's who's going to finish the race first.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like my background with how I got started.
How you got started. And as I sat through and watched high school track practices go, and I kind of see them nowadays, how were you able to keep yourself focused in those? Because maybe it's different as your high school, but my experience was there was a lot of hanging out in the sun, a lot of just kind of, hey, I want to be out here in the sun. Some people would show up and work hard. Other people would just kind of show up. So how were you able to kind of navigate and make sure that you worked hard, you were focused? I mean, did you, or are you just naturally that good?
Yeah. So I feel like my freshman and sophomore year, it was kind of just like same thing. I was just doing it for like to stay in shape for soccer. And I also did club soccer in the spring. So I was trying to balance both of those sports at the same time.
Real.
So it was a lot. And so I feel like my freshman and sophomore year, kind of just doing it for fun. Sophomore year, I get third at state. And I after the race, one of my coaches comes up to me and he's like, you could run in college with the time that you just ran. And I had never, college was not even, on my radar. I was not even, thinking I could run in college. So when that happened, I was kind of like, oh, wow. Maybe this is something that I need to, work harder at. And obviously, I worked hard in practice and stuff like that. But it wasn't, to the extent of, running in college, So after my sophomore year, I was like, okay, I need to get more, focused in this. And I feel like I always, I was always, pretty driven in, everything that I did. So, and I didn't have, a ton of friends doing track with me. And honestly, in high school, I didn't like running track. I didn't like it because I didn't have very many friends running it. And it was just kind of I was there and yeah, as you said, other people were just there to have fun, which is great. It's a community sport that everyone can kind of do.
It's a community co-ed sport.
Yeah.
Which makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Track meets are co-ed.
Yep.
There's lots of tents and blankets and hay.
So what are you saying, JC? How many track meets were you running shirtless for those girls watching you in the front, huh?
Every single track meet I could get to. Anytime the sun was out, we could take our shirts off. We guns out, JC. 100%. I get it. I understand. My first 2 years, I was a boy. I was not fast as a freshman and a sophomore. It took years for me to also get athletic and stuff like that.
So I gotta ask you, because when JC's talked about this on the podcast ad nauseum and in spades about the mentality of having to
get up in the nauseum.
Yeah, nauseum
is that a knock on how much we've talked about it, or is it just
Oh, I mean, I guess it's more me asking you than it is me talking about it, I guess. Okay. Sorry. I've asked JC a lot. Is that better? Is that helping you go? I've asked JC a lot about his mental aspect.
I like her opinion. Let's listen. Go ahead. Ask her the question.
I've asked JC a lot about his mentality and getting up every morning and going and shoot shots. That's just not easy. Getting up, shooting 500 shots, your body's tired, you're physically, mentally, emotionally exhausted. So what is it that you would get up and the mentality to get up and be I got to go run today because I have to get my workout in so I can be ready to go?
Yeah. This is in high school or in college?
Let's start high school and college, I guess, too. Why not? Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so in high school, I just, after my sophomore year, I realized, I have a great opportunity, and I'm all about, taking advantage of the opportunities that arise for you and, not leaving any doors open and, not taking that opportunity. So I think, and I had a goal of winning state and a goal of, running in college. And so I think just that goal, I'm a very goal-oriented person. So I think having that goal in mind, that really just got me up in the morning. It got me to working out by myself. And I think that's what's so hard about high school track is there's so many people that are just doing it for fun, which is great. But I had bigger goals than that. And so that's why high school track was kind of hard for me because I was wanting to do good. And I'd be at these larger track meets just by myself. It would be me and my mom, there was nobody else really there. I didn't really have a team aspect, And so I kind of was just working on driving off of my own personal motivation, there was no really outside source motivating me. And so yeah, that's kind of just my big goals is kind of just what drove me to success, I feel like.
No, that's really cool. And honestly, more and more guests that we have on, that's kind of a lot of that's been their path to success. I mean, they've got to and you just said it, that you had your vision and you had to work hard to make it happen, whether it was you practicing by yourself or having your parents take you to higher level meets to compete. We're starting to find a common thread among some of these highly successful people and motivated people that they take it upon themselves to kind of bring to pass their own fortunes.
Yeah. And that's why they're so successful too. What was the journey coming to Utah State? How did that all come to pass?
My journey to Utah State is kind of crazy. So my senior year, COVID hits. So I'm like the senior COVID.
Holy cow, you are a COVID
Yep, COVID grad.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm a COVID grad.
So, did they have a picture of you guys up on the wall? I think at Mountain Crest there's a picture like these are our COVID kids that didn't get to graduate.
Oh, I do?
It's your problem. Like it's almost like an in memoriam. Where it's like
No, we don't have that.
You don't have to answer that.
you got one. Yeah.
You really? Oh my gosh, yeah, we don't have that.
Okay. So yeah. I was like, oh, it's depressing.
Yeah. So, wait, what was the question?
Yeah, you just interrupted her question.
Yeah. Your journey to
Utah State.
You're a COVID grad.
Yeah, so I'm a COVID grad. And at this point, I'm still thinking like, okay, like, I'm like kind of in the middle. Like, am I going to go run track in college? Am I going to go play soccer in college? I had opportunities to play soccer at like some smaller universities, JUCO, Dixie State, stuff like that. So these smaller universities, and I loved soccer. And keep in mind, like in high school, I didn't love track. And so I was kind of like, like I have better opportunities in track, but I don't love it. Or I could go play soccer and I love it and go to these smaller universities. So my junior and senior year of high school, I reached out to a bunch of coaches for track and soccer, kind of being like, hey, like just kind of giving them the rundown. I want to run and play soccer for your school, blah, blah, blah. And so my senior year, I have a visit with Utah State. And they say like, yeah, we can totally have you come here. You can like, we can offer you a small scholarship. And I was like, great, but I feel like I still have a lot more I can do. So I don't want to commit yet because I feel like I want to see how my senior year goes. And then like, we can come back and reconnect. They're like, great, that works for us. So then I'm like about to start my senior year of track. COVID hits. I call up the coach and I'm like, okay, like COVID just hit. And he's like, sorry, we don't have any more scholarships left. All the seniors are coming back because they all get their eligibility back. So we have no more money left. So at this point, I'm like, crap, I have no scholarship money. And so I'm still trying to decide between soccer and track. I finally decide I want to go to a bigger university. I have better opportunities for track. So I decided to go all in on track. So I'm like calling all these schools and literally nobody has money left because of COVID. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to walk on. I'll be a walk on. So I was a walk on at Utah State my freshman year. And that's how that happened. Yeah.
You're looking for the best place to grab yourself a pizza and, of course, entertainment? Look no further than Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill at 795 East, 1400 North. Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill has your salads, delicious pastas, creative pizzas, all that including watching some good games on TV with your buddies. Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill also has a Thursday through Saturday, 9 p.m. to midnight menu. That's right, 9 p.m. to midnight, Thursday through Saturday, you get the delectable items. Our producer, Adam Lurcher, and myself went there, while Adam had the chicken fingers. I had this beautifully made gourmet hot dog with a delicious pretzel bun wrapped around it. Most importantly, Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill has the best customer service. Their employees are there to take good care of you, led by their manager, Thad Willis. So stop by Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill and let them know that the Unequal Podcast sent you there. 795 East, 1400 North in Logan.
So walk on.
Yep.
COVID grads. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, that's rough.
Yeah.
So walk on. When you walk on, I mean, you're part of the team. You're at all the same practices, so you have every opportunity to succeed. Right? The same as a scholarship. The only difference is you're paying your way. So you ended up with a scholarship, but how did you start to differentiate yourself in that time to earn a scholarship? Is it times? Like in track, is it, hey, also you just start putting up times? Do you start winning? Like what makes people go, or they see you and they're like, oh my gosh, her times are okay, but she's got potential. Like what is the factor to get a track scholarship?
Yeah. So at Utah State, they base lots of like the scholarship money based on if you can score at conference. So my freshman year, I worked really hard to like stay with those girls that I knew were good in practice. Yeah. And they kind of like, honestly, they pushed me so much to like succeed. And I go to the conference meet and I end up scoring and end up finishing 6th. So that's a scoring time or position. And then after that, we had a conversation about getting me on scholarship. So yeah.
What was that conversation like?
It was, I don't know if I like want to say it on the podcast, if I'm being honest. Maybe we cut this out, but it was, honestly, they didn't offer me a ton. And I said, I feel like I'm a great asset to the team. I feel like sometimes when you're a Cache Valley local, they kind of think, oh,
they lean on a little bit.
Yeah, they're like, you're already at Utah State. You're already here. You're with your family, you know? And so I think that they kind of took that into consideration. They were like, oh, she's already here with her family. She wants to be Utah State.
Yeah.
So they didn't offer me a ton of money. And so I came back to them and I was like, hey, I am a good asset to the team. I'm a freshman. I have so much more I can provide. And so then they ended up coming back to me with more money.
So you were like NIL before NIL even existed.
I just advocated for myself. And I think that's a big part of college athletics.
During your freshman year when you were running, did you feel like you were that you could compete with the very best? Because you said you were running with the best runners. Mm-hmm. Did you feel like you were competing with them, or you were maybe told yourself, I can actually run with these girls. Yeah. I can be the very best here.
Yeah. So when I came to Utah State, since I was a walk-on, I felt like such an underdog. I was so overwhelmed going to Utah State. I was like, wow, all these girls are going to be so good and so fast and so much stronger than me because I was a walk-on.
Yeah.
But once I started going to practices and kind of just I had the mindset of just stay with the top girls at practice. Just stay with them and they're going to push you. And I was sticking with them at practice and beating all the other freshmen that I knew were on scholarship. Yeah. And so I think I kind of gained some confidence, oh, I do deserve to be here and I can stick with these top girls. And I think that really helped me my freshman year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And look, and I like what you said. I don't think we need to cut it out. I like that you advocate for yourself.
Yeah, but you have value. Absolutely.
I like that you made valid arguments, and so yeah, I think that's good for people to hear. So I don't think we need to be ashamed of that.
No, and you shouldn't be one bit. Because in the end, you were right too. By the way.
Yeah, and you're right. And then I love what you said about you had the impression that these girls are going to be so much better, so much more talented because they're on scholarship. But really, as you get to the highest levels, the margins are very thin. The difference between this guy in in basketball world and this guy is very small. Mm-hmm. A lot of times it comes down to attitude and work ethic and opportunity. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. I remember, and I never really had any doubts in my mind. I was like, hey, I can play with anybody. Yeah. But I did learn that I think my dad had some doubts. Mm-hmm. I remember being on my mission. And I got a letter from him. He's like, hey, remember Ben Stratton? Look him up. Ben Stratton's the kid that beat me in the 300 hurdles in the state finals. Uh-huh. Ben Stratton played, he went on to Colorado State as a defensive back to play football. Mm-hmm. And he had this big interception, ran it back for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. My dad wrote me, he's like, hey, Ben just did this. He had a great freshman year. See, you could play at this level too. Mm-hmm. Compared to basketball, I was like, okay. I thought we knew that. I thought we knew that. But overcoming some of those things and you gain confidence over it. I found the best girls. You fought with them. I think that's amazing.
Did you ever have doubts about what you could accomplish or what you could do? That ever hit your mind at any point during your college career?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely my freshman year because I'm going to a new event that I've never tried. I'm going to college and I'm a freshman. All these girls are older, faster, stronger. I'm also a walk-on, so I definitely had doubts my freshman year. And then honestly, my senior year, I had some doubts because I had such a great career my sophomore year, a great season. And then my junior year, I was dealing with a minor injury and I didn't accomplish what I had set for myself. And so senior year, I kind of had to overcome those doubts and kind of realize that I can be back to where I was sophomore year post-injury. And that was a hard thing to do because I feel like track is such a mental sport. You get those doubts in your head and it's so hard to shake them. And so, yeah, definitely this last year I had to overcome some mental battles.
What was the injury, can I ask?
Yeah, it was a groin strain, a chronic groin strain, which sounds dumb. It was just an overuse injury. Not a moment that just happened, but as a hurdler, it's kind of you need to use your hips and stuff like that. So
yep,
yeah,
yep. You do, unless you hurdle like I did. I jumped that. That's good. I jumped about this far.
Oh, favor, juicy.
No, it's not me bragging about it. It's bragging about how terrible I was jumped about this far over the hurdles because my form was so terrible. She's going over it like this. She's going over it like my fingers are about a quarter inch apart. Those growing injuries would be painful.
Yeah.
When you do it right, like she did.
So can you talk about the obstacles mentally going into your senior year and dealing with that, and what were the leaning supports that you were able to use to be able to get through those obstacles mentally and emotionally, physically, so you could be the great runner that you were?
Yeah. So I actually was out all of the fall season. So I missed all of fall training because I got PRP injections to help with the injury. So I started training again in December. And keep in mind, our indoor season starts in January. So on top of all the mental battles I already had, I also didn't feel prepared because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't get any of the fall training. So I'm going through my indoor season and I'm like not hitting times that I'm wanting to. Like the slowest times I've ever hit in my entire life.
Yeah.
And one of the races I literally finished, saw my time, and I just like started crying because I was like, what, like, how am I going to get through this? Like, this season's going to be bad. And it's hard not to base one race off of your whole season. You know, you kind of think like, oh, I ran this one bad time, it's going to be bad the whole rest of the season. And on top of this, I was used to being kind of like the top hurdler at Utah State. Mm-hmm. And one of my teammates was also coming up and she was getting better. And that was also hard for me because she started beating me. And that's hard because you're so used to like being the top one. And I think I kind of had to realize that like her success doesn't take away from my success. And I still need to be a good teammate and cheer her on. And we can push each other and make each other so much better. And I think just like leaning on my teammates really just like helps me get through those mental battles this year. They like literally I cannot say enough good things about my teammates. They like push me in so many great ways. They're so supportive. Like they were so great at just like cheering me on in all my races. And like, even when I ran bad, they're like, you did so much better than last week. You know what I mean? Like they were so like recognizing that like I was making progress, you know, even when I couldn't see that myself.
Who are some of your close friend teammates on the team?
So Maddie Edwards, she's actually at NCAA regional.
She's got an invitational solid.
Yes. She's awesome. She's actually the one that started beating me, and it was kind of hard for me, but we were roommates for like the last 2 years. And so like we were really good friends. And then, like, Emma Reeves, she's a 400 runner. Autumn Kidd, she was on the 4x4 team with me this year. Yeah, those are some of, like, my best friends. We all were roommates, like, the last 3 years until some of them got married. But, yeah.
And then
they're awesome.
I outruined their lives.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I was like, that went south.
No, that's really cool. Now, a quiz for you.
Oh, no.
Who was the first runner to break a 4-minute mile?
This was on Jeopardy last week. The Owens dude.
No, not Jesse.
Oh yeah, Jesse Owens.
Not Jesse.
Oh, I have a story.
Jesse ran in Berlin.
Oh, he did.
Hitler.
Oh, Usain what?
Not Usain Bolt. He was 100 meter.
I don't know. Okay. So, by the way,
Roger Bannister. Is that the guy?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the record,
of course, I know what you know.
Is Roger No. Everyone knows.
Oh, really? Because
4-minute mile.
a Hall of Fame track runner doesn't even know.
Look, but here's the point of my story. There's something that I think is fascinating, talking about the mental aspects of track. The 4-minute mile was thought to be an impossible barrier, that a human being could never break that. And now, I mean, I'd be upset if his name's not Roger Bannister. Roger Bannister set out to prove that it could be broken. And he finally broke it, ran like a 3:59, like barely broke the 4-minute mile. And literally within 2 or 3 weeks, 3 or 4 other people broke the 4-minute mile.
Holy cow.
So it's such a mental obstacle. So at the level you were running in all your events, the 100, the 400 hurdles, the 100 hurdles, the 400 hurdles, the 4x4s, does there ever come, did those... You're fighting to shave half seconds, milliseconds off. Did there ever come a point that you're just like, I can't go faster? Like, there's a barrier that I can't break. I mean, was it like, hey, I can't break 56 seconds or 57, and then did you ever break through that? Was that ever anything?
Yeah. So in my in the 400 hurdles, my sophomore year, I got in this consistent time of running a minute flat. Literally, like, I'd run, like, a minute .19, a minute .17, a minute .08. And I just could not break 60. And it was making me so mad. But I always believed I could.
Yeah.
It was never like, oh, I just can't do it. I always believed I could. But it came a time where I finally broke it. And I ran 59.99.
Wow. Yes.
And then the next race ran 59.5. It's just, you have to break that barrier. And as soon as you do that, your body kind of realizes, oh, I can hit this next level.
Yeah.
And it just clicks and you can do it.
No, that's amazing. And look, I'm not I tried track stuff.
We know you.
And one of the things I tried was like high jump. Like, hey, you can jump, try jump. There was a mental block that I was like, I can't jump over that.
Yeah.
That just was there. And I was like, I'm okay with that. But so that mental block stuff is real. And a minute was it for a minute, and for a little bit, and I love that you broke it. Like that's so cool to me.
That's even cool. You broke it like 59.9. You said like 59.5. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine like, and it's not relief, I guess I would say, but it was maybe just this holy maxiny that you said like your body can actually do this, and so mentally you're like, well, heck, let's go 59.0, 59 flat, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, and so with that, did you feel like you ever hit like a peak where you said, oh my gosh, this is the peak of what I've always wanted to do?
Mm-hmm. I feel like my sophomore year was probably like the peak of my career, I would say. And
which is crazy because you had such a great senior year, too.
Oh, yeah. My senior year, I was actually running faster than I was my sophomore year. But just like the NCAA in general has gotten so much faster. And I think my sophomore year, I was just doing things that I didn't realize, I couldn't even comprehend that I was doing. You know what I mean? Like I qualified for NCAA regionals, and that was like something that I had in my mind to do maybe by senior year.
Yeah.
But I hadn't even like comprehended that I could do it by sophomore year. And breaking a minute, I didn't even comprehend that I could do that by sophomore year. And so I feel like the peak of my season, just like confidence-wise and like kind of like showing myself that I can do things, was definitely in my sophomore year.
That's great. And help us understand just how difficult it is to get to the NCAA regions and stuff like that. Explain how many people that is, and how big of a field that is to be able to get to there.
Yeah. So obviously there's like hundreds and hundreds of athletes in the NCAA Division I division. And so how it works is top 48 at the end of the year, it's your best time. The top 48 best times in the West and the top 48 best times in the East go to their regional meets. Mm-hmm. And they compete there. And then from there, the top 12 from each of those meets go to nationals. So, yeah, it's extremely hard.
Yep. It's
extremely hard.
It's very hard. And in track, where you are running against times and you're running against yourself, it's such an individual sport. How much does competition running beside you push you to run faster? Or do you think you could just go out on a track by yourself and run your best times? Mm-hmm. Or is it the competition that helps bring the next level?
Oh, it's definitely the competition.
Yeah.
Definitely the competition. Like, if I was just to go out and run a 400 hurdles by myself right now, I would be nowhere near my PR. It's definitely the competition aspect. And, like, I think that's why the hurdlers at Utah State have been so successful this year. It's because we had a group of 3 hurdlers that were all super good, and we all pushed each other so much at practice. We competed against each other in every single race, and so we were, like, pushing each other so much. And honestly, I think that's, like, why we were so successful.
How much of your events do you think is natural ability, and how much is just mental, physical toughness and preparation?
Oh, wow. That's a hard question. I don't know. I feel like it's probably like 70%, maybe less than that. Maybe 60%, 70%, like, natural ability.
Okay.
And then probably, like, the last, like, 30, 40 is probably just, like, mental toughness and, like, training and stuff.
Because you are at that distance that training and mental toughness can make a big difference. Mm-hmm. You know, well, like a 100-meter dash, your boy Usain Bolt, like, let's
he's from a different country.
Let's not misunderstand. He's still your buddy. Because he's the one track guy you knew. He's the one track guy you knew. He was not a miler. But, like, that race that he runs, like, is so much natural ability. Oh, yeah. For sure, those guys work hard. You know, their story, you know, he worked 4 years to run 10 seconds, 9 seconds, and it's amazing, but there's so much natural ability. But in your events, I think there's a lot of work that you can actually gain ground on people by just having more work ethic than others.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I feel like there's so many people who were good in high school that come to college and they really struggle. And I think it's because they're not the best, anymore. And also, like, they just don't have that mental toughness to, like, push them to the end, Yeah. And I think that's, like, where I saw so much success is, like, I kind of had that drive and mental toughness to, like, like push myself towards the end. And I feel like, yeah, that's a big deal in the 400.
Hey, you looking for something fun to do this summer? How about you go to Bridgeland Adventure Park, located in Garden City, Utah. Bridgeland Adventure Park has all sorts of adventures from ages 2 to 92. A 4-levels ropes course with 73 events, a giant swing, a 450-foot-long zip line, or get on a tube and head down the 350-foot slide. They're also accepting business corporate groups. You and your office want to get out of the daily grind? Sick of staring at your computer for 8 hours a day? Well, bring the company over to Bridgeland Adventure Park. Enjoy some delicious food, a snow cone, a fun time with your coworkers, and lasting memories. Bridgeland Adventure Park is located at 722 South First Light Drive in Garden City, Utah. For more information and questions, go to blap.rocks. That's BLAP.rocks.
Can you talk about the chemistry of a relay? I've always loved watching relay events. I always wonder how they pull that off.
Yeah.
Because it looks so incredibly. You're like, oh, you're just handing off a baton. No, like it's got to be in like chemistry. It's got to be in rhythm, running and all. Talk about that.
Yeah. The relay events are so fun. It's kind of funny though, because like when you're doing it, you're not really like thinking about it that hard. Like it just kind of happens. You know what I mean? Like it's like, it's just like so fluid. Like sometimes I'll finish the race and I'm like, whoa, I like had a baton in my hand and we like handed that off and I didn't even realize, you know what I mean? But it's like the cool thing about relay events is it's a team aspect that you don't get in track and field. And so you kind of like get that excitement of being on a team and like running for your team. And all of our best times have always been like on the relay times, all of our best splits, because yeah, you're like running for your team. You have something bigger that you're running for.
Cool. And so you're on the 4x4.
How many laps is that, by the way? I'm being like, I don't know how long the 400 meters is.
400 meters is one lap around the track.
So like in yards or football. I'm a football guy.
So I'm 4 football fields.
What?
Well, a little, yeah, 4 yards, yeah. 4 football fields.
I would have thrown up at 40 yards. Like,
Yeah.
oh my
Amazing.
gosh.
It's
I
amazing.
had no freaking clue.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, so she's running, sprinting. It's not jogging, sprinting one lap around the track.
It's just
4 football fields.
It's not healthy.
Talk a little bit about the 4x4 and why it's such an amazing event.
So, wow, it is an amazing event because, yeah, it's so hard, first of all. Everyone in high school always tries to get out of the 4x4 because it's not fun. Like, looking at it from an outside view, it's not that fun. But being on a team is so fun. And that's, like, why I've loved the 4x4. And actually, our 4x4 team, we ran the second best time at Utah State this last conference meet. And we were not expected to. We were ranked, like, 9th and finished 3rd. Anyways, but yeah, running on a 4x4 team, there's just so much excitement. Everyone's around the track. Everyone's excited to see, because ultimately the 4x4 comes down to who wins the meet, because it's the last event.
Yeah.
So everyone's around the track. Everyone's covering the track, cheering. There's just like, you have your team cheering for you. After you're done running, you're cheering for the other legs that are running.
Yeah.
So there's just like so much excitement and adrenaline.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want me to tell you about my 4x4 team?
My whole theme team were hanging in the high school gym at
This is just
St. Cowboy Gymnasium.
So we had our group of 4.
Yeah.
And then we had like the 6'7" high jumper that he would follow us around with a boombox while we warmed up, and he just would carry it everywhere we went.
You guys listening to Randy Tritt?
No, we're listening to Eye of the Tiger.
Such a lame song.
No, yeah, oh my gosh, you're done.
Series. So cheesy.
Oh my gosh. And so we would warm up with him holding the boombox, and then he would sit on the far the last curve, because that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Like, you need a little extra motivation.
Yeah.
So we had Eye of the Tiger playing on the back stretch to motivate us to finish the last 125 yards.
Maybe I would run faster if I had that.
You definitely should have had a hype man like that. Ajay would have gladly been there holding that boombox.
I would have played better music than Eye of the Tiger, by the way. Oh my gosh.
Are you telling me you don't like the Rocky series?
Dude, it's horrible. It's so cheesy. It's so corny. It's horrible.
All of seen the Rocky movies.
Oh, I've seen the Rocky movie.
And she thinks they're cheesy too.
Awesome.
No, I love that.
Don't.
Creed? Have you watched
You don't
Creed?
have to agree with that.
Good.
Let's go.
Creed is so
He's out. He's out. See the things we learn about this guy?
Jeez.
Ajay.
I'm serious. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's just, I had the title. By the way, who sings the song?
I don't know if it's
Oh,
who is
you
it?
serious?
Do you know?
You really don't know?
I don't know.
Queen.
Is it Queen?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
If it's Queen, I definitely knew that.
No, you did not, because you said, I don't know. I quote. So, you're humming it. So Olivia, like, and now that you're all said and done, and I know, like, because in the midst of your career, you're trying to compete for a spot, you're trying to win championships and such, like, but when it's all said and done, do you have a chance to sit back and appreciate, like, I read your bio, it's incredible, but do you have a chance to sit back and appreciate everything you've accomplished?
Definitely. I feel like I haven't really, like, gotten to that point yet because I can't really comprehend that it's over. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of like, I kind of just feel like I'm, like, on my summer break. But I think the last conference meet that we had, like, 2 weeks ago, it was kind of, like, a good way to end out. Like, it was literally, like, the cherry on the top. Like, our 4x4 team, not expected to do anything crazy. We had girls that, none of us had been, like, running crazy times that year, and we all came together and ran, like, an incredible time. And so I think, like, after that meet, I kind of sat back with, like, my friends and my family, and I was like, wow, that was pretty dang cool what we accomplished. So
That's amazing. 2023 Mountain West Outdoor Track Championship. I think it was a championship. I can't remember. But you had a lane violation. It's just,
oh yeah.
how do you get a lane violation? Do you just, like, leave early?
So it was in the 4x4, and how it works is the first leg, you have to be in your lane the whole way. And then the second leg, when you pass it off, you still have to be in your lane for the first curve, and then you can cut in. And what happened is we handed off the baton, and when one of our runners was turning around to go run, she had to stay in her lane still for that last curve, and she ended up stepping out of her
Oh my
lane.
gosh. So one person can just disqualify.
Yeah, so we got
That is
disqualified.
pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do want to ask you, and I do it not in an egocentric way, but I do it more just because genuinity can come from it. Your NIL deal that you did with Aventura, I think, like, watching Don, who's a good friend of our podcast, I remember when he talked about you, and he said, and I think he had told our social media director, Sarah and Bailey, this, but talked about how great you were to work with because there was gratitude, appreciation in doing this deal. And I remember Sarah saying, like, I don't have favorites, but I love Olivia. And I think, like, female athletes don't get the appreciation they absolutely rightfully deserve. And especially at Utah State, when I've had a chance to work alongside Dawn and watch him work with you. And, like, when you have the NIL deal done and when you're able to have these opportunities, you know, in that regard, can you just talk to us about what that means to you as an athlete?
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, when you guys reached out to me for the NIL deal, I was so grateful because, yeah, you just don't see a lot of the female athletes getting the same opportunities for NIL deals as men do. And, I mean, there's a number of reasons that people watch men's sports more than women. And I feel like there's so much that women athletes have to offer and so much that women's sports have to offer. And I feel like we're kind of seeing a shift with, like, women's basketball and, like, Caitlin Clark and that whole thing. They're kind of just, like, bringing a new light to women's sports. And I think that's so cool. But, yeah, I just feel like the direction that women's sports is going is so exciting. And I feel like there's so many more opportunities that are, like, arising for women. And it just makes me so happy because I feel like there's, I don't know, women's sports are pretty dang cool. And I feel like I'm excited for the world to, like, appreciate that and, like, realize that.
So for you personally, like, what did it mean? You talked a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But, like, what did it mean to get that phone call from Dawn or whoever, and then to have that discussion and put together a deal and just be rewarded for your efforts and your incredible accomplishments?
Yeah. No, I was so grateful, and it was just so much fun. Like, the whole team was so fun, and, like, I just kind of felt, yeah, just grateful that I had, like, this opportunity and that, like, you guys thought of me, because I feel like sometimes people don't also look at track. Like, I'm a female athlete in track. They don't get, you know, it's kind of like the lowest of the low. Like, you don't get, like, a ton of opportunities, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I was just, like, so grateful that you guys thought of me. But
Best decision we ever made. You're asking.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Want to play some rapid fire?
Hold on, a couple more questions. So, nowadays, do you like running now? Or did you said for a long time you didn't like to run.
Yeah, I didn't like to run.
Okay, now you like to run. What do you do now that the college is over? How do you feed that need?
Yeah. So kind of what I'm going to do, what I'm planning on is because I'm like, I don't want to give up running. Like, I've done it my whole life. I love it. It's like an outlet for me to kind of like relieve stress, you know? And so I want to start running half marathons and marathons.
Let's go.
This is a bold statement for me to put it out on the podcast. Now everyone knows.
Like it, now she's committed.
I'm committed.
Yeah,
now.
now you are.
Remind me how far a half marathon is.
13.1 miles.
13.1 miles.
Yeah.
Jay,
Let's not.
have you walked 13.1 miles this month?
Yes.
Just kidding.
At Bridgeland Adventure Park.
I'm just kidding. All right, 13 then a half, then a full marathon is obviously twice that.
Yep.
And then what's the ultimate? Where does that get to take you?
Yeah. So same thing. I'm nervous putting this out there, but my main goal is to qualify for the Boston Marathon. That is like really what I want to do. I think I've seen videos of the Boston Marathon. It's so inspiring. It's so tough to qualify. It's very hard. And so that's kind of like something that I'm going to work towards in the coming years is qualifying for that.
What are the qualifications for the Boston Marathon?
It changes every year. It's just based on how many applicants they have.
Okay.
But it's,
I
I can't even tell you a number right now, but I just know it's freaking fast. It's like
It's a time.
a 7 or 8 minute mile for 26 miles.
Gosh. And then what is, do you have a half marathon that you're aiming to be ready for?
Yeah, I'm going to do the top of Utah in August.
Let's go.
Yeah, so that's in Logan.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So search me for
you.
that.
Where would you like Ajay with the boombox
Oh.
playing Eye of the Tiger?
Finish.
Where do you want
You're
him?
not playing Eye of the Tiger.
It's got to be
Doing it.
You gotta be like halfway through
Yeah.
when we're in like
mile 8 or 9 or something,
Yeah.
mile 7.
yeah.
Okay, what song would you play?
I'm expecting
What's the one in Rocky 5 when he's fighting that Russian and he's getting the crap kicked out of?
That's Rocky 4.
Yeah, and he does like the workout and there's no easy way out. There's no way. Yeah, that song. That song pumps me up. Like the intro of that
That's
song.
the song you like.
Oh, that thing fires me up. I could.
Did you have a song that pumped you up?
Oh yeah.
I didn't.
You need to find one.
Yeah, you do. You got to
I
swing.
was the type of runner that like warming up, I would just like I just didn't want to be stressed, so I would just like talk to my friends, you know, like it would stress me out more listening to music.
All right, listen. I'm going to give you some of the greatest
No, what's
starting
you're gonna be like, hey, here's a Joan Denver song.
sophomore year. My headphones, pregame. Yeah,
Britney
Creed.
Spears. What?
Creed.
Creed?
Creed.
Are you kidding me?
Let's
Creed?
go. Creed.
What was it like? Was it
Basketball warm-ups in Laramie, Wyoming. They played Limp Bizkit.
Alan Jackson?
Limp Bizkit, Nookie. Oh my goodness. You want to get hyped? Listen to Nookie.
Did they play the edited version? Because I've heard the unedited version. There's a lot of naughty themes.
Definitely. I have no idea.
Yes, you
Definitely
do.
don't remember.
Yes, you do.
They played Nookie and it pumped me up. And so
Rolling
Creed,
better.
Nookie, and then what was the other one? Oh, then on my way from my house to the gym,
Uh-huh.
Hampton and Bob.
Nelly,
Nelly?
number 1.
Nelly number 1.
Yep.
I'll put that on my list.
Put them on your list. you will qualify for the Boston Marathon list on the very first day you run. You played those 3. You played Creed, Nookie, and
No, play Rollin' by Limp Bizkit. Oh, that's a good song.
that was not as hype as
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Oh man. Hey, break stuff. Come on, Fred Durst. Let's go.
You don't even listen to the right albums. Okay, so do you have like a routine? Are you superstitious like before a meet or anything like that?
Honestly, I try not to be superstitious because I feel like there's so many things you can stress about in track and also so many things you can't control. I just try not to be superstitious, and so I try to do the least amount of routine as possible. No, I'm serious.
No, she's got
Same stretches.
Okay, well,
Same warm
same
up.
stretches, same warm up, but like that's like a given.
No.
That's like a given.
Yeah.
I would have like a
But that's routine.
okay, yeah, I guess, but I don't have like a breakfast that I eat
Okay.
every time, or like a hairstyle that I do.
Not a hairstyle.
You didn't have a hairstyle either. Did you see yourself in college? There was no hairstyle. It was JC bald.
But like no, like yeah, nothing like that. Like obviously, I do the same warm up every time.
Nails done. She's got fancy nails, by the way.
No, right now.
Just so you see. Just so people can't see, but there's fancy nails. Okay.
But yeah, like nothing like that, because I just didn't want to like, I don't know, be in a hotel and not have like my special breakfast I eat every morning, you know? I just didn't want to stress all that stuff. But I guess I do have one thing.
Okay.
Sleep is like super important, obviously. And I would go to hotels and I couldn't sleep because the pillows were bad. So I packed my own pillow to every single meet I went to.
Really, Mark?
For the last 3 years of college. So yeah, I fit that in my suitcase.
The pillows are bad.
And everyone always make fun of me. They're like, "What do you got in your suitcase?" It was like so puffed up. I'm like,
What are you laughing at? They're bad. They're horrible.
I'm not
Sorry, some of us don't get to stay in your
I'm not disagreeing.
hotel mansion on the 28th floor. Some of us are on the 3rd floor with bad pillows and no mint or water.
I'm just thinking that Utah State must need to get like a Marriott deal, and
We do have a Marriott deal, and the pillows are not great.
all right.
And I sleep on my right arm more than I do the pillow. I mean, I feel like my right arm's like right there. It's horrible. Anyway, so I'm superstitious, by the way.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what my superstitions are.
You have to now.
No, I can't, because then it breaks the superstition.
No.
It breaks my luck. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so if you had a pregame meal, what would you be eating? Like, what
pasta every time.
kind?
Alfredo. What pasta? You got a carb load before your race.
Do you have chicken?
Michael Scott did that. He puked.
Chicken and all.
Is that a true story though? Do you want a carb skull before eating? Is that a
Did
thing?
you see Michael Scott? He freaking threw up.
Yeah, I saw.
You know, I honestly have no idea. I just like
Toby, look him up.
Maybe we should have figured this out
Why did you found it?
before you
Mr. Professional Track Runner, like, what were you thinking, Olivia? Like, you're supposed to be eating this.
I'm assuming there's someone there going, "Hey, this is the ideal pregame meal."
I just feel like our coaches like more told us like just make sure you're eating a lot, because I feel like as runners like you underfuel a lot, and so running anything like before race day, I didn't stress too much about what I was eating, but I love pasta, so I just try to eat pasta.
Yeah.
And I would just try to make sure that I got like a good large dinner in, make sure that I was all ready to go the next day, properly fueled. So that was like kind of like what I tried to do with my nutrition, was just like eat a lot.
What was your drink of choice, like, before, during me? I mean, just, JC's giving you the drink as you pass through on the top of Utah Marathon. So what is your drink?
It'd be a Gatorade. I would sip a Gatorade.
What color?
Blue or white.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yummy, as I like to say.
No, red.
Oh, red is so bad. That's
Red
like
drink.
maybe the
If you spill that on you, it's gonna stain.
I'm an adult. I don't spill on me.
Yes, you
stains your lips though.
can't stained your lips.
For good. We make you. It adds something. Yeah, it adds something to it. Red.
But yeah, I would just take a sip before my race, because it's like kind of gives you a little sugar rush before, you know, got some sugar pumping through your body. So that's what I would do.
Good. What other question do you have?
What are you gonna miss the most?
Ooh. I'm gonna miss the most probably my teammates. Cliche, but I'm gonna miss my teammates because they're all moving away, they're all graduating, and so I'm gonna miss like being with them at practice every day and just like having fun. And I think also just like the competitive aspect of like track and like pushing myself and like accomplishing more than I thought I could accomplish.
Besides being in the Boston Marathon, what does like Olivia Smith want to do when she's all grown up? Got to fight a career. What does she want to do, Olivia?
Obviously want to get married and have kids. And then I really want to start my own business. That's like
do what?
dream. You know, I don't know. I have no idea, if I'm being honest, but I would love to do something with like athletic apparel or something like that, kind of like jump in that scene, which I know is a hard market to just jump into, but that's kind of like always been my dream.
Cool.
Olivia, this has been a treat for us. Like, this is awesome. And your career has been nothing but spectacular. And like, and I'm not even blowing smoke or anything. Like, I'm being dead serious when I look at your resume and what you've done. Like I said, the qualifying time is 10 years down the road. Your name's going to be on a ballot. And I think sometime after that, you'll be up on the podium and JC will be sitting behind you. You'll be a Hall of Famer. You're making your commencement speech. No, we're honest about it. I think you've done great. So congratulations on a wonderful career. Congratulations on your success. Good luck in qualifying for the Boston Marathon. And in your first half marathon, we'll be watching for you and paying attention to that. So wish you the very best.
Thank you so much.
JC, thank you for telling us about all your great track stories. You know, you're a track Hall of Famer. And
No, I never. Those words never came out of my mouth. It never came out.
Like the greatest.
I connect because of the track the hurdles in the 400. Like,
I want to thank Bart,
Those
the
are-
beatboxer, for playing "Eye as a Tiger." And
it was Bryce, by the way. It was Bryce. Shout out to Bryce. He did
1998.
high jumping at Weber State.
Really?
Like, the dude was actually talented.
What do you mean? Actually, we didn't think he was talented. He already was talented.
Well, if I said the guy that walked around with the boombox,
I would be impressed.
your thought would be that guy's super talented at what he does?
Absolutely. I was a water boy, and I was super talented at what I did. Yes. JC, thank you for your time.
Let's go.
Unequal Podcast is on your podcast platform, however, wherever you find it. Big thanks to the Painted Roses, Cole Stalker and his crew, singing us in. And a big thanks to our sponsors for being so great and being a part of the podcast. This has been with Olivia Smith, JC Carl, and Audrey South, and this has been Unequal.
Former Skyview quarterback and Utah State football walk-on, Ted Stokes has established the #1 bankruptcy law firm in the state of Utah. Stokes Law's playbook is helping individuals and businesses overcome tough financial situations. If you're facing garnishment, repossession, foreclosure, or just overwhelming debt, give Stokes Law a call at 435-213-4771 or visit their website, stokesbankruptcy.com. Stokes Law is a debt relief agency and provides guidance under the United States Bankruptcy Code.
How we thought we had it planned. We thought we had the world